Hi guys, and welcome to another video from HealthHire UK. Today we're going to talk about how you can write the supporting information for the NHS. This is the most important part of your application, the supporting information. Those who have a good supporting information will be called for interview. On the other hand, those who have a poor supporting information will only be rejected. Their applications are going to be rejected, and that's going to be the same story no matter how many applications they make. As such, it's vital that the supporting information is written well. The whole purpose of the supporting information, also what is the supporting information with the NHS? So those of you who've already applied to the NHS will know. Those who don't know, we'll give you a quick introduction. The purpose of the supporting information is to show that you're the most qualified, you're the most suitable candidate for the job that's being advertised. So with the NHS, you don't generally put your CV through when you're applying for jobs. It's very rare to have to do this. What normally happens is you go through the application process on NHS jobs or on track jobs, and you'll be asked to fill your personal details in, your qualifications, your references, your work history, and then a section which is the supporting information. So the first few sections, you can keep them the same for whatever job you are applying for. However, the supporting information has to be well written. It has to be tailored to the job that you're applying for to show that you are the most suitable, you are the most qualified, and you're the best candidate for the job. So today we're going to go over the 3 stages of how to write the supporting information for the NHS. Keep watching till the end. We've got a very exciting announcement at the end of the video. As a quick reminder before we get started with the tips on writing the supporting information, at healthhireuk.com our experts can write the supporting information for you. This can be used for an unlimited number of jobs. To buy this service, you can visit our website. We're going to show you a quick video on the screen now. So visit our website, healthhireuk.com. Just click into the link, the payment link. Remember to use the code NHS50 and you'll get a 50% discount. Our experts will write a supporting information that you can use for any job. So we're going to give you a really good supporting information. You tell us the type of job you're looking for, and we'll write you a supporting information that's tailored towards these type of jobs. And we'll make sure that you can tailor it for every application. So it's going to be used for an unlimited number of times. It's going to give you a lot of success, and it's going to make the whole process of applying for jobs much easier. We're going to get started now, guys. Before we get started with actually writing the supporting information, so most people will be writing the application, or they'll be submitting the application, and on the NHS website it'll tell you, right, you can write your supporting information here. Our advice is to first write the supporting information elsewhere. So what we advise is to open up a Word document on your laptop or get a pen and paper out in the old school traditional manner and start writing. So the first stage is to look at the essential and desirable criteria. So this is stage 1 of how we're going to write our supporting information. So on a word pad, write down the essential and desirable criteria for the job that you're applying for. You're going to find this in the job specification or in the person specification for the job that you're applying for. So write down the essential skills, write down the desirable skills. What you're going to do next is you're now going to put an arrow under each of these skills. And what you're going to do is think of an example of how you meet this criteria. So for example, we could have communication, we could have teamwork, talk about how you're a good communicator. Think of an example of when you've shown good communication. For teamwork, you could say in your current job you've worked as part of a team. So just think of an example basically for all of the essential skills and for as many of the desirable skills as you can. That's very important. What we're going to do next is, now we've done this, so we've met the essential and desirable criteria. So you've got that in one section. You've got a few sentences. I've got good communication as evidenced by my work doing this. I've got good teamwork as evidence when I've worked in a big team, achieving good results. I can work. I've shown that I've got initiative. That might be one of the skills. I've worked by myself a lot of the times, and I was quite a junior member of staff, and I had good outcomes. So just put examples of everything basically. And now you've got this section. Keep that to the side. Now, the second section, you're now going to go and you're going to talk about how you meet the NHS values. So you're going to have to look at something called the 6 C's. So there's care, communication, and you can find the whole list on the NHS website. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we meet the 6 C's of the NHS. This is very important as the NHS is looking to ensure that people that it recruits have got good values that match the NHS values. So you're going to look at these 6 C's, the care, the communication. You're going to look at all the core skills or the core qualities that the NHS is wanting. And you're going to now, again, same as before, think about examples of how you meet these values. What we're going to do next is each hospital or each trust will have its own values. So these might be values, 3 or 4 values. So now you're going to go onto the website of the trust that you're applying for. So for example, if you're applying for the Guy's and St. Thomas's NHS Trust, you're going to go onto the website. You're going to go into the section that says About Us, and you're going to find the values of the trust or the hospital. And there will be some values there, and again, talk about how you meet these values. And the last stage is now on the About Us page on the hospital website, or there'll be a similar section with more information. You can talk about new developments that the hospital is doing. Why we advise you to write this in the supporting information. So for example, I'm just going to give you an example here. You might be applying for a job as a healthcare assistant or a nurse in the emergency department. Now, you might have found out on the website that they're doing a £10 million revamp of the whole emergency department, and they're going to invest in new equipment, or they're refurbing the hospital, or they're building a new hospital, or they're building a new emergency department, or they've got some facilities coming up. So you can mention this in your supporting information. All it shows is that you're a very interested candidate. You've done the research. You really are invested already at this stage in working for the trust. So you can talk about that you guys have got this project coming on, and this makes me excited to work in the department which is growing, which is investing in its facilities. So that's this stage wrapped up. So as a reminder, on your Word document now, you should have a section with all your skills, so all the essential desirable skills and how you meet them. You're going to have examples for all of them. The next section that you've got now on the Word document or on the paper that you've been writing this on is going to be the NHS values and how you meet them, the trust values and how you meet them, and anything exciting about the trust that's happening at the moment. Some trusts might not have anything, but most trusts will have something on their website in terms of what they're doing or their plans going forward, or they might have an exciting 5-year plan. So you can mention this in this section. Now it's about bringing it all together. So you've got a few different bits written down on the document, but it's not a very cohesive document. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about how you can bring this whole document together, and so it's going to read very well. So now the best place to do this is normally on Microsoft Word or any other sort of word processing software that you're going to find. Rather than doing it on paper, try to use a software which has got spell check. Avoid using AI. That's what we tell all the people. Do not use ChatGPT or anything because it gives very generic responses. What we're telling you here is how to do it. It's very easy to write your own information, which is going to make you look like you're showing initiative. It's going to make you look interested. It's showing that you're the most qualified candidate for the job. And so you're going to beat anything that ChatGPT is going to put out. So what we're going to do now is open up a word processing software. So open up Microsoft Word, for example, or Google Documents, or any sort of software, but don't use the NHS website at this point. So now to start with, write a quick introduction. So say your name, my name's John, and where you're currently working. I'm currently working as a healthcare assistant in X care home in Wales. And I'm applying for the job of healthcare assistant at Guy's and St. Thomas's NHS Trust. That's your first introduction. It's short, it's sweet, it's straight to the point. You're going to give more detail later on. What we're then going to do is then now the section of NHS values. You're going to put these now. So you're saying why you want to apply to the NHS. So the section that we did earlier on the other document with NHS values, copy that and paste that now after the introduction. Now, what we're going to put after the NHS values. So now we've got the introduction, we've got the NHS values. What we're going to do now is we're going to give the essential skills and desirable skills. So all the essential and desirable skills that we've written down on the previous page, you're going to copy them and paste them over. So how you meet the communication, how you're a good communicator, how you're a good teamwork, and how you meet all the skills. So you've got your introduction, you've got the NHS values, you've talked about the essential and desirable skills. What we're going to do next is now we're going to talk about why we want to work at the hospital. So you're going to put the section about the hospital values, and we're going to put the section about any new features in the hospital or why we want to work in that hospital. Now that that's all done, we're going to wrap it up. Just put a little message at the end. Thanks for considering my application, or a very simple similar message just to bring the whole document to a close. Now what you want to do is, it doesn't need to be a high level of English. As long as you've mentioned all of this, the next step is with any sort of word processing software, put a spell check on, make sure it's English UK, guys. We can't reiterate the amount of applications that we see and they're written in US English. So make sure it's got the English UK setting on and put a word check on, a spell check rather, and just make sure that there's no spelling errors, there's no grammatical errors. And now you've got a really good document that you've written yourself. So at healthhireuk.com, what we do is we can write this whole document for you. We've helped hundreds of people over the last few months. We've helped a lot of people secure their dream jobs. So you can either do it yourself, like we've mentioned, write it on a Word document and then copy and paste it. But if you want an expert to do it for you, where an expert who's got over 10 years of experience in the NHS, they've worked in recruitment, they know exactly what you need to write. You can save your time, you guys are working, you're busy. So if you want an expert to do it for you, we can do it for you. What we do is, we not only write the supporting information, we'll write your CV, we'll write your cover letter. Okay? So we'll write your CV, we'll write your cover letter, we'll write the supporting information. We then guide you step by step to how you can find the jobs and how you can apply for the jobs, and how we give you exclusive tips on how you can secure your interview, and we give you a list of interview questions and answers with our service. So our service really is going to help you boost your journey to the NHS. It's going to help you really get started. It's going to give you everything you need so you can simply start finding and applying for the jobs. Otherwise, you can obviously use the advice that we've given today to write the supporting information, and that's going to really set you apart. Most people, what they do with their supporting information is they just write something generic and then they just get rejected, and they keep getting rejected, and now they feel down, they feel sad, and they're struggling. So what you need to do is really follow this process. Ensure for each job you're changing things up. You're talking about the different values of the hospitals. You're talking about why you want to work for that hospital, and that's really going to set you apart. Now, what we mentioned at the beginning of the video was we've got a very exciting announcement at the end of the video, and that is we're doing a massive giveaway by the end of July if we hit 1,000 subscribers. So that's a challenge. We're currently at the end of May, coming into June. So by the end of July, we're going to hit 1,000 subscribers. So please, guys, subscribe to the channel. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a massive giveaway. But please help our channel by sort of subscribing to the channel. Help us promote this video. Help other people by liking and sharing this video. And until next time, goodbye.